With how competitive law school admissions is right now, your letter of recs can be the thing that either gets you admitted or even gets you rejected. Hey, I'm Mara Freilich, one of the top-rated law school admissions consultants in the country, and I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest mistakes even top applicants make when getting their letter of recs and how you can avoid them. Mistake number 1, asking for a character reference. Law schools are not looking for someone who's going to tell them that you are a good person. They are looking for someone who has seen your work up close, either professionally or academically. Those are the only 2. They want letters of rec that talk to how do you think, how do you handle responsibility, how do you perform under pressure. So a letter solely about your character, even if it's glowing, is really just not useful to them. So don't ask, your best friend's hotshot lawyer parent or a close family friend who's known you forever, who's, the president of the United States. True story from a client, by the way. Instead, you want to ask a supervisor or a professor who knows your work the best. So not even just a professor who maybe knows you personally the best, but who can attest to you and your strengths academically or professionally in the most specific way possible. Mistake number 2, avoiding any academic letter of rec because you didn't have a close personal relationship with a professor. This is a mistake I see all the time. Applicants will think, well, I never went to office hours. They probably don't even remember my name or my work. How can I ask any professor? And so they just avoid all academic letters of rec entirely and just get either character references or professional letter of recs. This is a mistake. Law school is an academic environment. Honestly, the profession of law is quite academic itself. So that is what law schools are going to care about more than anything else. So even if you are a few years out of law school, trying to get an academic letter of rec is really important. And frankly, getting a strong academic letter of rec does not rely on the fact that the professor might have known you really well personally. What they need is to just be able to talk about your academic aptitude. So if you did well in a class, you just need to give that professor some guidance on how they can write about your ability to handle analytical work, complex material. If this was a really tough class, you can ask them to talk about how just doing well in this class signals that you can handle really complex material. That is enough to assure law schools that you can really handle complex, rigorous academic work. Mistake number 3, not aligning your letters of recommendation with the narrative of your overall application. Your letters don't exist in isolation. They are always going to be part of your broader narrative, your whole application. So if your whole narrative in your application is maybe emphasizing one career trajectory or a passion or interest, and then your recommender is talking about something totally dichotomous, that's going to create an inconsistency in your application and raise a red flag for an admissions officer. For example, let's say you're positioning yourself as a future corporate attorney in your application materials, but then your recommender is talking all about your passion and your long-term commitment for underserved communities. That disconnect can make your story that you're presenting much less cohesive and feel less authentic. It doesn't mean that experience, for instance, here serving underserved communities, cannot be relevant or doesn't fit in. It just needs to be positioned in a way that makes sense for the narrative you're putting forth. Which means you need to directly clue in your recommenders on why you're going to law school, what you're telling law schools about your reason for going to law school in the direction you're pursuing. Don't just leave them guessing or hanging, or they might fill in gaps that are not advantageous for you. Because at the end of the day, your whole law school application needs to tell one single cohesive story, and your recommendations are part of that story. So do not overlook them.